So the second time we had something happen, we had the local paper had contacted us and said, a local paper, not our city, but next town over, they want to do a whole insert about all the different downtowns in the area. And this really speaks to the reason why I want to tell this story is she was the ad rep, right? She's spearheading this promotion. And this is another reason why everybody's boring. So one, trying to build things by committee, everybody being diplomatic, everybody getting a say, everybody's opinion weighted, whether or not they know what they're talking about or not.
Oh, man.
But the other side is these organizations are being pitched by ad reps, right? And the ad rep comes in with a vision. This is how we're going to spend your money. And look, we're doing this for you. We're going to give you this great deal. And we'll get your name out there. We'll promote your downtown for you. So
that phrase just like hurts. Like, we'll get your name out there. It's like, oh,
I hate it. I hate it so much. So the ad rep comes to me. I'm head of promotions at this point, or at least I believe that's what was happening. I think I was a committee of one at that. So this organization was like slowly imploding and dying. And so she comes to me and she says, hey, here's the spread. This is what we're doing. And this is what everybody else has submitted. Or this is how we did it the previous year. This is what everybody submitted. Would you like to do an ad? And I'm like, all right, it's in the budget. We'll do the ad because it is kind of something that's picked up by the tourists. We'll do an ad. But everybody's ad was like, come to downtown Oak Harbor, come to downtown Port Clinton, and flowers, like pictures of flowers from their downtown.
Yep.
It was literally every single ad looked exactly the same. Now in downtown Sandusky, we have some fantastic flowers. Like we have like a really, really cool downtown. We have a giant clock that they change out the date on every single morning.
Nice.
Really cool stuff. So I'm like, I don't want to do any of that. They're all doing full color and pictures. So I'm going to go the opposite. I'm going to do black and white and text.
Nice.
So I made an ad that even I thought, like, I don't know if this is going to work or not, but it's definitely going to stand out from what everybody else is in. And so we did a top 7 reasons to visit downtown Sandusky. And it was a list of different things that they could see: the restaurants, the waterfront, the parks, all the cool things that we have in downtown Sandusky. And it went, so I submitted it, and the ad rep's like, Allie, would you like to have lunch with me? I'm like, sure, we'll have lunch. She was a very nice lady. So we go to lunch, and she's like, we can't go to print. She came with her manager, I believe. We can't go to print with this like this. We really ask you to change your ad. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not going to do it.
No.
And they're like, no, see what everybody else did? Do you see what everybody else did? If you could create an ad like that, then that would be good. So we highly recommend you don't run this ad. You got to run something else. And I'm like, yeah, no, you asked me to submit an ad. There's no rules saying what my ad must look like.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want my ad to look like everybody else's ad. And they begged. They ended up running it, but not before they called a board member.
Oh my God.
Hold on me. But they ended up running it because they were out of time. They had to run it, and we were paying for the spot, so they had to run it, and I didn't give them anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So we ran it. I come to the next board meeting, and here's this board member that they called who considers herself a marketing person.
Mm-hmm.
Not the kind of marketing we would call marketing, right? Mm-hmm. And she, in front of all the board members, opens up that paper and she's like, what an embarrassment. We need to have systems and checks in place that something like this never happens again. I cannot believe this was approved. Allie just went and did it on her own. And like, I was young at the time. I'm like, oh my God. Like everybody looked like I was bold to the ad reps, but sitting there at the board meeting with some of the most influential people in my town, like looking at me like, what did you do?
Sure.
And I did have a guy stand up for me. He's like, did you talk to Allie first? And she's like, no. And he goes, I think that was very unprofessional for you to come in here and just like
ambush you.
Blindside her like that. Yeah. But again, it goes to the ad reps wanted a pretty spread.
Yep.
They wanted something that was pretty. And if you have people on these organizations that don't know anything about marketing, they're going to say, oh, well, we'll just be pretty. But then you're spending money to make it look the way the ad reps want it to look. And you're probably not going to get any traction from it at
It's
all.
almost
Nothing's
an
going to happen.
ad. It's almost an ad for the ad reps. It's
Yeah.
like that's what signals to other businesses like, oh wow, I could have a pretty ad in this publication, but that doesn't do anything for the consumer. It's what we keep saying over and over again, like what is in it for them? It's like
Yep.
there's nothing in it there for there's nothing that says what's in it there for the potential person who might want to come to the town. But it really is just like trying to get other businesses to buy pretty ads. And that's
And
crazy.
for the organization, it's an ego trip, right? Look
Yeah.
at us. We got this beautiful ad
Yeah.
in the whatever, I can't even remember the name of it, but we got this beautiful ad in this publication and it looks so nice. And everybody's, oh, let's show it to all our buddies. Look, look,
Yep.
look, we have this ad. Everybody's patting each other on the back. And ultimately, like in that way, they are getting their money's worth from their perspective because they're part of the organization. They're on the board for a lot of times, especially this kind of organization, for the ego boost it's given them, that they're part of what's happening and moving downtown.
Yep.
And so to them, money well spent. Look at how beautiful it is. And my metric was completely different. My metric was how many more people could we get down here, which is very difficult to track. So we did have like a little URL on there that we could track, and the guy in charge of the organization's like, well, I don't know. Like he didn't know how to read the stats, and he's the one who had to look at them. And it just, I'm like, whatever. I'm just, so that from then out, I pretty much just ran the farmer's market and like
Sure.
told everybody else to leave me alone.